And the employees are the ones who actually went to the government and said something is wrong here.
Again, whistleblowers, we're seeing people come, out to the media, letting them know that the transparency of the U.S. government and large corporations is in doubt. We're seeing a lot of this now where people are working for big businesses and they're saying, you know what, this isn't right, I have to say something.
And they are. They're finally speaking up. Any ramifications for these employees?
Well, as far as the employees, we don't necessarily know because their names really haven't been attached to it. But we've seen something similar. Remember when the San Bernardino terrorist phone was blocked, and the U.S. government went to Apple, and Apple CEO Tim Cook came out and said, look, this is a dangerous precedent for us to be working with the U.S. government on this, and it's going to go right down to customer satisfaction and whether customers can trust the companies that they are purchasing products from. So we saw this back then, and then we, of course, know that the U.S. government paid a third party to break into the phone. So one has to question what's going on. I think what this letter is doing with Yahoo is just giving them high cover, if you will. So if there are any lawsuits that are brought against them from their customers saying, look, we had a privacy agreement, that they would come back and look at it and say, we sent a letter to the U.S. government, and just to cover their own tails with this. But for the most part, all of these Yahoo, Google, whatnot, they're all covered and they all operate under federal government agencies, and they can have their licenses pulled. So it's really kind of a two-step dance. Maybe not much going to happen.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're a customer, if you're a Yahoo customer, you've got to be concerned about this.
Yeah, I mean, as a customer, you got to be concerned because we are also hearing that the U.S. government is not going out and getting subpoenas to read emails and whatnot. And then also we see what's going on with WikiLeaks. And now stuff is getting leaked, that shouldn't necessarily be out there, could create, national security issues for this country. So, there are a number of things that need to be dealt with. Unfortunately, this should be dealt with in Congress, and it's not, because we have a dysfunctional Congress, and every time that this issue comes up, it's an election, it's this, that, or the other. It's time for them to get their job and get down to work on these issues, protect, the U.S. consumer as well as the country.
You were saying something about Assange being in Ecuador, I guess, and held
the
up.
embassy,
the London embassy held up there.
Yeah.
And you think that we're going to hear something on November 9th after the election? There'll be more leaks.
Quite possibly. Yeah, that's when his number is up. Yeah, I believe that the day after the election he'll have something to say.
Wow, this is incredible. A lot of hacking, a lot of leaking that's going on right now.
It is, and it should concern Americans, but Congress has to deal with this. They are the ones that really need to get out in front of this, and they just don't want to do their job.
Kimberly DeVore, thank you so much.